Shymkent, now a vibrant city in Kazakhstan, stands as a testament to the rich tapestry of Central Asian history, culture, and economic development. As the third largest city in the country, Shymkent serves as a crucial hub for commerce, culture, and transportation, strategically positioned near the border with Uzbekistan. This location underscores its historical significance as a key point along the Silk Road, where it facilitated trade and cultural exchanges between Europe and Asia for centuries. The city's history stretches back over 2,200 years, evolving from a small caravanserai to a significant military fortress by the 12th century. Throughout its history, Shymkent has witnessed numerous historical events, including the expansion of the Mongol Empire and the rise of the Kazakh Khanate. Its strategic importance continued into the Soviet era, during which it underwent substantial industrialization, further shaping its economic landscape. Today, Shymkent's economy is diverse, with strong sectors in pharmaceuticals, food processing, and metallurgy, reflecting its ongoing development and modernization efforts. The city has also become a center for cultural activities, hosting numerous festivals that celebrate Kazakh traditions, music, and art, thereby preserving its rich cultural heritage while embracing modernity. As a city that seamlessly blends its historical roots with a forward-looking vision, Shymkent embodies the dynamic spirit of Kazakhstan, making it a fascinating subject of study for those interested in the intersections of history, culture, and economic growth in Central Asia. A modernized tulip, embodying the characteristics of biodiversity, photovoltaic potential for renewable energy, and digitization in line with a smart city, was selected as the emblem for the project. Being one of the fastest-growing cities in Kazakhstan, Shymkent has a demand for urban planning of new microdistricts. This video presents the urban development strategy for the new neighborhood of Shymkent City, developed by a joint interdisciplinary team of frame art and urban sustain architects led by architect Alexandr Khvan and urban planner Roman Pomazan. The strategy examines domains of urban planning and architecture, transport, culture and creative industries, natural environment, and participatory development applying to the new neighborhood and the entire metropolis. Except the strategy, the project consists of the analytic and planning stages. In the last decade, a tulip was chosen as a symbol of the metropolis, owing to the endemic species of wild tulips that are ancestors to all modern varieties of tulips. During the analytical phase, we evaluated the conditions and potential of Shymkent, which included workshops, analysis of the urban core and social fabric, green and gray infrastructure, economics, culture and city values, as well as sociological and anthropological studies, and the brief evaluation of the cultural and creative industries. First, we conducted a field trip to identify the value of the natural landscape, key nodes, and to meet with stakeholders. The local business association, international real estate holdings, regional sports association, and local hospitality companies were the main stakeholders of the project. The initial workshop aimed to generate a variety of zoning plans, which would then be overlaid with analysis data for further detailed elaboration of a selected option. The designated plot already included several households, commercial entities, and social housing units. Additional challenges included public transport connections and the placement of large urban nodes for sports, entertainment, and the business district. The urban studies begin with the evaluation of city designs across the entire metropolis, identifying several historical cores of medieval towns, traditional and modernist cities, and rural developments. Among these, to the north, lies Shymkent City. The analysis of urban issues identified 12 main concerns: water access, public transport, waste access, urban sprawl and informal settlements, traffic jams, and several others. Transport studies revealed the project site's relation to main logistic nodes and lines. It was revealed that the city project lays quite far from the central transport hub and needs a new transport rail and bus hub. Studies of the social fabric unveiled the existing and future connections of the site to the old center via a chain of public spaces. Future expansion of them throughout the project fabric could sufficiently high up the quality of urban environment. Nature studies identified potential green belts, relevance to an ecoregion, and endemic species. Semi-arid dry climate and scarce clay soils highlighted the value of greenery and water sources and the need to revitalize the planned area with biodiversity design. Economic studies reflected trends in population growth, demography, occupancy split, main economic industries, industrial zones, and the macro and microeconomic context, as well as the real estate market. In 2018, Shymkent was approaching the 1 million citizens mark, which anticipated the transformation of the metropolis into a city with special status. Cultural studies define the metropolis as cognitive map, key cultural authentic features and values, and the genius loci. While the history of Shymkent dates back to the 6th century, there are several medieval fortifications, examples of vernacular Central Asian wooden architecture, and valuable modernist buildings from the 1970s to the 1990s. Anthropological studies uncovered the regional tourism potential, festivals, local communities, toy and entrepreneurship traditions, and the cultural and creative industries. A distinguishable feature of locals is the trend to live in Michaylys, low-rise micro-communities that amalgamate all family members and contributes to the urban sprawl tendency.
The strategy stage consists of multi-layered strategies dealing with city blocks, public spaces, development priorities, landscapes, transportation, smart city initiatives, bioclimatics, and stakeholder engagement. The preceding analysis evaluates economic, natural, and societal domains for strengths and weaknesses currently, as well as opportunities and threats in the future. The strategy stage consists of multi-layered strategies dealing with city blocks, public spaces, development priorities, landscapes, transportation, smart city initiatives, bioclimatics, and stakeholder engagement. The preceding analysis evaluated the economic, natural, and societal domains for their strengths and weaknesses currently, as well as opportunities and threats in the future. The scheme for organizing the urban environment considered 11 values: human scale, blue lines, multimodal transport, public spaces, mixed use, urban structure, compact city, various home typologies, city magnets, green building standards, transformed via data into 5 map layers: blocks, landscape, public spaces, priorities, transport, and delivered as 8 strategies related to specific fields. The feasibility studies have shown that the project is connected to China's international One Belt One Road initiative. Taking this connection into account, they assessed the demand across key industries and evaluated the impact on demographics, including the creation of 19,000 new jobs. Furthermore, the studies provided insights into the distribution of occupations, specifically identifying 9,000 office jobs in the planned central business district, a 5.3% contribution to the metropolitan economy, and crucial economic indicators. The studies assessed a population density of approximately 116 inhabitants per hectare, along with the total gross floor area, overall population, and housing provision. They calculated the functional division of the built environment, including a 12% allocation for social housing within the planned 1.27 million square meter residential program. The studies also outlined the basic principles and capacity of educational facilities, the capacity and types of cultural and art buildings, and healthcare facilities. Additionally, they examined the functional division of the central business district, the demand and capacity of the service sector, the capacity of sports facilities, and the typology of hubs designed to support creative industries. The infrastructure for urban security and services was also addressed, specifically defining the scope of a citizen security center. The strategy of blocks commences with the morphology development of the Shymkent City urban grid. The first, we identified all already booked land plots and existing households, as well as planned roads. The second, we linked anchor nodes to the grid. The third, we figured out geometry of visual axes and viewpoints, and corrected the grid. The fourth, considering existing tenure plan, we added pedestrian passages. The fifth, we added a human scale grid of blocks similar to Barcelona standard. And the sixth, we evaluated secondary pedestrian connections and auxiliary streets. Next, we developed the master plan and identified key anchor buildings. Following that, the block strategy outlined the functional zoning plan and height regulations. The public spaces strategy presented a vision for the future public realm, categorizing areas by their level of activity from hyperactive to temporarily active. The priority strategy proposed a phased development schedule for the blocks. The landscape strategy emphasized creating green belts that weave through the area, incorporating wildlife crossings and artificial water bodies. The Shymkent City Green Belt is designed to integrate with the broader metropolitan green infrastructure, including the Dendra Park and the Badam River, that should improve animals' migration through the urbanized area. The transport strategy outlined a hierarchy of transport nodes and connections within the urban grid, including large parking areas and underground sections of highways beneath the central area. In line with this strategy, we suggested repurposing the existing narrow-gauge railway from the Dendra Park to the Old Center, extending it into Shymkent City with a loop, and creating a dedicated BRT, bus rapid transit, line to Shymkent Airport. The strategy also detailed the development of public transportation, encompassing bus rapid transit routes, light rail tram lines, bus networks, and pathways for pedestrians and cyclists. Moreover, the strategy proposes a comprehensive update to the metropolitan transit system, including the addition of light rail transit, LRT, and bus rapid transit, BRT, systems, alongside an extensive bicycle network. The Smart City strategy outlines crucial phases for implementing building information modeling and applying green building standards. The bioclimatic aspect of the strategy focuses on architectural design principles suitable for a semi-arid climate, such as intensive shading, natural ventilation, wind catcher towers, dust and wind protection through drought-resistant greenery, and nature-based solutions like green roofs, permeable pavement, and water channels, Yuriy. Expanding beyond the scope of the project, the Smart City strategy aims to involve communities in revitalizing green infrastructure through festivals and neighborhood celebrations. The participation strategy identifies 2 main categories of stakeholders: direct stakeholders, including a special project enterprise, international construction development companies, and financial institutions, and mediated stakeholders, divided into groups such as small and medium enterprises, creative industries, business corporations, student youth, traditional communities, and the media. The business and education strategy highlighted the development of schools, kindergartens, and extracurricular colleges, marking a significant investment in the future of education and industry collaboration. During the planning phase of Shymkent City, the team detailed anchor projects, bioclimatic design principles, and specifics of landscape and public spaces, including plant selection. To kick things off, a workshop was held with key stakeholders and real estate development companies to establish a foundation for successful implementation and to incorporate specific features. Notably, the Shymkent City Planning Guide identified 6 main street typologies: city highways, collector streets, residential streets, pedestrian streets, interblock streets, and pedestrian boulevards with light rail transit, LRT, all of which included bicycle lanes. Furthermore, the Transportation Planning Guide laid out essential principles for safe street crossings, adhering to the National Association of City Transportation Officials (NACTO) standards, and provided detailed designs for roundabouts, categorizing them into multi-level, regulated, and self-regulated types. It also included calculations for car parking lots and their spatial arrangement. The landscape section of the planning guide detailed the implementation of dust protection barriers using plants, conducted dendrological feasibility studies, and specified the exact species of grasses, flowers, bushes, and trees to be planted throughout the project's landscape.